Hey guys, sorry I didn't have a video for this one yet. I heard from Miss Garrett that you guys were a little confused about this lesson. So, um, the explain and elaborate go together. There is basically what this activity is it is meant to. The purpose is for you to explain or to show your understanding of the different states of matter of water and how they behave. After doing the activity that you did on Monday, after doing the FET simulation where you change the temperature of the water, change the degree, the temperature, and the pressure, the kinetic energy. You saw that what the water molecules did. Did they have a lot of kinetic energy? Did they have a low kinetic energy? What did they do if they were cold? What did they do if they were hot? So you needed to take that information from that simulation and apply it to this next lesson. Okay, so if you didn't really get the gist of that, then I want you to kind of try that again. All right, so what we're doing here is this is a cute little video on the phases of matter. So if you're still a little stuck on the phases of matter, go ahead and watch that. So basically, the gist of the exploration that you did on page 26 is that the temperature of a solid, there's very little movement, it stays in the same shape, it has low kinetic energy. Okay, there's not a lot of motion going on. A liquid state has a little bit of movement. It stays in the shape of its container, but it doesn't fill the container completely, unless obviously, like the water bottle in the freezer, it goes all the way to the top. It has a little bit of kinetic energy, but not a whole lot. Okay. Now, a gas has a lot of kinetic energy. It's kind of popping all over the place, and there's a lot of movement. So think about the kinetic energy. Think about these three things and the model that's in the middle there. Think about that as kind of the diagram that we're looking for. So what I added to this slide, and I added it tonight, so you guys probably didn't see it, is something like this. So think about this. So a solid is kind of there's not a lot of room for a lot of motion. These things are constantly vibrating, right? But they take the place of they take up the room that they have. Okay, they're kind of just together. And then the liquid, there's a little more wiggle room. They kind of have a chance to move around a little bit, bump into each other. And then you have a gas, they're moving faster and they're just kind of all over the place. But they have the confines of, say, a balloon there. They're taking up that space, but they have room to move about. Okay, so think about this picture here when it comes to a representation of the atoms, the molecules that represent the different states of matter. So, what we're asking you to do Tuesday, Wednesday, is to develop a skit or create a model. So, you can get some paper out of the paper cabinet and create a model if you don't want to actually do a skit, and that's fine. So what if you do choose to do a skit, I want you to record it so that I can watch it, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to grade it. All right, so you have to record it. Uh, Otherwise, a paper model with an explanation will do as well. So you have to do the science behind how water behaves in its different states, okay, solid, liquid, and gas, and then what causes those changes. All right, so what causes those changes is temperature, okay, temperature, kinetic energy. All right, so think about that. Those two things, those are the things that are directly related to that simulation that we did. Okay. So these are a couple of really key terms that you're going to want to know. What thermal energy is the energy an object has because of the movement of its particles. It's also known as heat energy. Okay. The temperature is the average kinetic energy of the moving particles in a substance. Kinetic energy is the energy an object or particles have due to motion. And then the state of matter is a form in which matter can exist, which depends on the arrangement of motion of molecules, solid, liquid, or gas. Okay, those are important key terms to know. This is an example of the systems. All right, so plasma is the fourth state of matter that we don't really talk about, but you will get to that when you get to high school. But we talk about solid, liquid, and gas. And these are all of those little extras: freezing, melting, deposition, sublimation, condensation, vaporization, that we've talked about and that you've heard about in all of those videos that you've been listening to. So this kind of gives you a little clue. So let's say, for example, condensation is from gas to a liquid. Okay, so it takes a gas in the air and then it forms a liquid. So on your glass, it's condensation. Okay, vaporization is the opposite. It's a liquid to a gas. Okay, we don't really talk a lot about plasma here. Okay, so this is a really important thing to have in your mind. So this is also an example, like if you didn't want to do a skit, this would be an example of a model that you could do on a piece of paper to show the states of matter, and then give me some examples of like the science behind that. Okay. All right. So then I showed you that. And then this is the rubric that we're going to use to grade your model or your skit. Okay, so the explanation uses all the science properties that we've been talking about. Use the evidence from the simulation. Okay, and then today, this is your explain. This is a Google form that's going to help me know that you are understanding what we're doing here. Okay, so it's kind of an exit ticket. I do want you to do it. That way, if you forget to do the skit or the model, then I can use this as a grade for that. Okay, so then today, Wednesday, basically you're finishing up your skit and your model or your model, and then you're just making it better, you're practicing it, and you're presenting it. Okay, so this is an example of what they're looking for. If you do a skit again, I do want to see it. I'm not going to be there to obviously to see it, but I want you to record it, upload it for me so that I can see it. You can do a screencast for that, or there's another one, but I can't remember what it is. I used to use it a lot. I can't remember. Gosh darn it. Or yeah, most of you will probably choose to do the paper. I have a feeling. Okay, but your other option is just to do this quiz and get a great grade on it, and then maybe we won't have to worry about the skit. Okay, so think about that for today. Get those done. And then I did post some things about the final project from last quarter for you guys. So, all right, hope you're having a good time. I know break is almost up, and you guys are getting super excited about Christmas break, and I'm super excited for you. Just hang on just a little bit longer, and you'll get there, okay? Don't give up just yet. Thank you.